if your dope was on fire?
Impossible, sir. It's in Johnson's underwear.
All right, don't forget about the morning show replay. Every afternoon from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. only on WMNH.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, don't forget to listen to the replay from 2 to 4.
Join me, Matt Connarton, weekdays 4 to 6 p.m. live for a discussion about politics where we put aside labels like liberal and conservative and have a discussion about truth and what's really happening in the world.
This hour on WMNH is proudly sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 171 Londonderry Turnpike in Hooksett. Serving all your employee benefits planning, design and administration, investment and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. They are available at 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
You are listening to WMNHLP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
President Donald Trump's state tax returns could be required by law to be released after state senators in New York passed a bill Wednesday. They actually passed two bills, each for different reasons. The first bill would allow his state tax returns to be released to Congress if they are requested by chairpersons of three committees: the House Ways and Means Committee, the Senate Finance Committee, or the Joint Committee on Taxation. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has said he will sign it if it reaches his desk. The news comes a few days after Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin denied U.S. House Democrats 6 years of President Trump's personal tax returns. The other bill allows state prosecutors to charge people with state crimes after a president pardons them. It only applies to instances where the person has a direct tie to the president. Trump has previously said a pardon for his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was not off the table. A judge found Manafort guilty of financial fraud as part of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference. He is now serving time in prison. The bills still have to pass in the state assembly before heading to the governor's desk.
Billions and 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 billions. Billions and 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 thousands 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 and thousands, literally hundreds and 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 hundreds of hundreds on hundreds again.
No, grow up. Grow up. Live in the real world, right?
Sequence starts. 10, 9, 8,
saying something like that. You know, you could, if you were like a national talk show host and you said something like that, you could have your show yanked off the air, or there could be protests at your offices or something over something like that.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Streaming at WMNHradio.org. We're also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, and of course on Facebook via Facebook Live on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. It is Thursday, May 9th. 2019. Coming up at 4:15, we're going to be joined by phone by Philip Robert. He is the CEO and founder of the Burning Limb Foundation. We're going to talk about chronic pain a little bit because that is something that a lot of people struggle with. People I know personally, a couple people whom I love very much, actually, in my life, and it's a common problem. We're going to talk about that. And joining us here in the studio right now, today he's on the couch, Mr. Ryan Gorman.
I just waved like as if there was a crowd in here. Sorry.
Well, you are on camera.
No, that's true.
Yes.
Good point. No,
yes.
I decided I think that the couch I'm less fidgety. I mean, a little bit less. A little bit. Like I can't.
You think
twist,
so?
I can't twist in the chair.
Oh, right.
I can't tap. I'm just like, you know.
You could twist again like we did last summer.
Yeah, I do have restless leg syndrome.
Do you?
So, I mean, is that a real thing? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
If it's a real condition.
I don't know.
I know that it is.
I'm
in
skeptical.
Like, there's certain situations where you can get it, and it's medically like a thing. But mine's just a tick. Like,
you have a tick? Do you have Lyme disease?
I don't.
I'm terrified to go into the woods for that reason.
By the way, thank God, because that is like the worst. My aunt has it, and it's like crippling. It's awful.
Oh yeah,
it's awful.
I'm like the least outdoorsy person you'll ever meet to begin with.
Really?
Yes.
You strike me as a guy that might enjoy the great outdoors.
Nope.
Really?
I
Wow.
wish there weren't even trees. I wish everything were concrete. That'd be great.
Oh my God!
That's how terrified I am
You're like a
of
Mad
ticks.
Max kind of guy.
Yeah, that looks like heaven to me. Yeah.
Well, I enjoy a city from time to time, but
I've never even been camping.
Really?
Yeah, never, and
wow.
I never will. I have no desire to.
That amazes me. What about glamping? Would you be into that?
Oh, I need to know more. Is this something I need to go to Urban Dictionary to look up?
I'm not getting weird. It's actually a real thing. It's glamping. It's like people.
It's not
have
something
like,
you do with your dongle.
No, oh no.
Okay.
This is dongle free. I mean, hopefully, if you're glamping, you have you got your arm to the teeth with dongle.
Oh.
But
well, I'm
intrigued.
intrigued.
Have the money to do that. Well, glamping is glamorous camping. It's like somebody that they go camping, but they take a $300,000 camper that's like nicer than most people's houses.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
I mean, that is also a cool part. I also like glamping as well. Haven't done much of it.
See, somebody tried to talk me into doing that once, and I was kind of like, I don't get what's the point. Might as well just stay home.
Exactly. I think it's a change of scene. I don't know. I'm into the whole camping thing, even though I don't do it all that often. I like the idea of just not doing anything out in the woods.
All it takes, though, is one deer tick, and then you've got Lyme disease.
Yeah, well, it takes. They don't all carry it, do they?
Yes,
They
all of
do?
them, every single one. No,
yeah, no, you
I
got
don't
to
know.
catch like it's.
Or one mosquito bite, and you're risking West Nile virus.
Dude, I hate mosquitoes. Well, I don't hate it.
You should hate them.
dislike them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you shouldn't hate.
I hate ticks though.
Yes.
I hate them. Like not one of them. Like
Well, you're not supposed to like them.
I'm ticksist. Like if you
Right.
like I don't need to hear about you. I don't know what you. I don't care. Like I don't like it based on on just you being
a tick. Yeah.
I can't stand you.
Yeah, I mean that's really sort of the last refuge of any sort of prejudice. I think you can.
Sure.
It's still okay to hate.
I mean,
ticks.
I'm okay with cockroaches.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Bed bugs. All
Yeah.
right, listen.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. I
You're
want
not
you,
a
I don't want you
buggist.
moving into my neighborhood or anything. But,
Right. Well, it'll drive your home values down in the neighborhood once the roaches move in. Hi.
So will I.
Yes. Welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, it's Easy G. Eric Gagnon. How are you, sir?
Hey, I have to agree with you, Matt. I'm not a big outdoor person either. I went camping once.
Yes.
With my father one time when I was a Boy Scout, and I hated it.
Right.
And to this day, I've never gone camping again, so I have to agree with you. And I'm going to be listening to the show there about the chronic pain, because I've had that trouble with my feet now for 30 days, so.
Yes. Well,
almost 30 days. So I'll be listening to see if he gives me any good tips.
might be
so.
time to amputate.
So I look forward to your special speaker. Have a great show.
Thank you, Easy G. Bye-bye. Wow. You know, once when I was little, my uncle Jimmy, took me fishing. And I don't know if there's been a moment since then that I've been as bored as I was on that day.
All right, thank God. I thought you were going to talk about Uncle Jimmy.
No,
and I was like,
no.
thank God. Well, that would explain not wanting to go camping ever.
I mean, he's dead now, so if something weird did happen, I suppose I could talk about it. But
yeah,
no,
but
nothing happened.
I mean, unless, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless I have a repressed memory.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can take you to a place where we can get you virtually under hypnosis, I would say.
Well, I am a hypnotherapist. I can put
that's
myself under hypnosis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can put.
We should talk about that.
I could put myself in hypnosis and remember my Uncle Jimmy doing something bad in the boat that day. I don't think he did, though.
I don't think Uncle Jimmy did either.
I don't think he
taking you
did.
fishing. You know, it was boring for you. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't sound.
I mean, I would have remembered, right? I mean,
yeah,
I would remember
dongle.
that.
That's not fishing for apple dongles.
Right. It's not like he was using a dongle for a lure or something.
Exactly.
That would be uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, well, I think you might catch a lot of fish that way, though.
Perhaps, yes.
I'm guessing.
Right.
I'm guessing.
Well, you know, they say you get more flies with honey, you get more fish with dongles.
I have heard 100% true, and I'm glad that somebody else has heard that saying besides myself and my buddy. We played wires together yesterday with cords. Yeah, so
right. You were crossing wires and cords.
He checkmated my dongle.
Okay, all right.
You know, I will beat this to death.
It's
2000 until it's like
it's 2019. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right to talk dongles.
Yes,
More liberal of a country we live in.
Sure, yes. Oh, this could be our guest early. We'll see. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, real quick, I know you got your speaker on. I went fishing one time with my uncle. I had to agree with you again, Matt. Boy, tonight I agree with you more than I usually do. And I hate fishing, too. I went once and never again.
Yes. Well, good for you. Take a stand against fishing. That's what I say.
I'm against fishing.
Bye-bye.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just I don't like killing stuff.
It's very cruel to the fish. Hello to Michael Alber, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. He says, hello, Matt. Stephen Philbrook is in there. Stephen says, perfect timing. The Trump live feed welcoming the Red Sox to the White House to eat Big Macs just ended. Somehow I don't think Stephen is kidding, because Trump seems to have this odd fixation with serving fast food to athletes.
Yeah, that might be... Maybe he's trying to just say, see, I do it for everybody. Because wasn't the first time it was like...
The first time it was kind of funny. It was during the government shutdown. You know, he made some comment about Melania didn't want to go make salads or something, so they ordered. The first time it was kind of funny, but now it's kind of not that great.
Yeah, I mean... You're going to the president? I mean, well, although it is par for the course for this administration, it's like, come on over to the White House. We'll give you some fast food. Like, it's just such a thing that he would think was not a problem.
Well, apparently,
or not weird.
And apparently that's what he eats. You got to give him credit. Now, the guy does have amazing genetics to make it to 72 years old eating fast food. I mean, all the time. He should have colon cancer.
Okay, let's be honest. And what's his name? He's not Ron Wood, the other guy from not Mick Jagger. Geez, the other guy. Not Keith Moon, the other guy. Who's the one that in the Rolling Stones? Keith Richards. Thank you. He should be dead too, from the amount of heroin he was doing.
Right.
But he gets blood transfusions all the time.
Yes.
So I'm sure Trump gets like a what's that stuff you're not supposed to get? It clogs your arteries. Dude, I'm not. Listen,
Heart disease?
I didn't go to medical
Angina?
school. No, it looks like Crisco.
Oh, I don't know.
What do they call that stuff?
It looks like Crisco.
Yeah.
Lard?
Yeah, sort of. No, the stuff that blocks your arteries. What do you call that?
Wesson oil?
I don't know.
Sure.
I didn't do well in medical school. Never mind. It's all right.
Right, yes.
It's all right.
I did hear you drop
cholesterol. Thank you.
Cholesterol.
I can't take credit for that. My friend was giving me a look like, God, buddy.
There is both good and bad cholesterol. Let's see. Michael Albert says low levels on Facebook audio. Yeah, it's turned up here, so I don't know. I don't know what to say, Michael. turn it up, as they say at the beginning of Turn Up the Radio by Autograph. Maybe Jenny, of course, is in the Facebook live chat. Jenny says today, Philip Robert, she's the one who scheduled the interview, will join Matt Connarton Unleashed to talk about RSD CRPS and the Burning Limb Foundation. So that should be coming up in just a couple of minutes. We should be hearing from him. Dr. Jeff Cassell, also in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Dr. Jeff. Do you know Dr. Jeff Cassell? Have you ever met?
Dr. Jeff Cassell? No, I don't believe so, unless I've seen him professionally or something, which wouldn't have been any time recent.
Are you wearing a scarf?
Oh, dude, I'm like Art 2000 today. I'm trying to be real.
But aren't you like, it's like 1,000,000 degrees in here. I don't know if you noticed.
No, believe me.
I'm exaggerating slightly.
Okay, I just came from Gonzo's Meat Locker.
Yes.
His apartment.
Uh-huh.
It's ridiculous. It is below. It's got to be breaching freezing. It's refrigerator weather. Like it's like you got to open the fridge to, like, if you want to get a little blast of heat.
Sure.
It's bad. So I've been cold all day. And
wow.
Really,
no kidding.
Yeah, it's toasty in here. Not toasty. It's actually, for me, it's like, this is comforting.
Wow.
And anyway, this is.
Is it a scarf? It almost looks like a dish rag.
Well, yeah, it's one of those. It's I forgot what they're really called, but it's our special forces guys wear them, but the Arabic dudes wear them. It's a Middle Eastern, but I mean, let's be honest, it's a little warm over there.
Yes,
so
yes.
I think it's probably cools me down. Maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
I certainly know it's cool.
Yes. Oh, you artsy types. I'll tell you.
Listen, I'm trying to. Dude, let's not even get into this awesome fancy sweatshirt that's
it's fancy.
Prince Touch's wife had gone out and
pretty fancy schmancy.
It's,
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. You have friends who are
in high places,
who are
and
Arab.
Yes,
well. Yes. Wow, fantastic.
We, I was talking with a couple of the fellas, Gonzo and my buddy Mike. They're both Mikes.
Actually, hold that thought, Ryan, because it's exactly 4:15 and the phone's ringing. So this is probably our guest. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Is this our guest?
Matt, it's Philip Robert. How are you?
Philip Robert, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for calling. Ryan Gorman is here with us. Well, he'll be a part of the conversation. But I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Jenny, of course, connected us, and can you start by telling us what exactly is the Burning Limb Foundation? Because for folks who have no idea, they probably think that's a pretty interesting name, and it's not that someone might think it's the name of like a metal music festival or something, but that's because there's Burning Man, which isn't metal, but Burning Limb sounds very metal. but no, it's actually something not particularly pleasant that it refers to, unfortunately. But go ahead and fill us in, please.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. First of all, thanks for having me on. And Matt, I hope you're comfortable on the couch. I was watching you earlier.
Oh, that's Ryan.
A little bit more comfortable over there.
Right. That's Ryan over on the couch. Yes.
How are you?
Sorry. Yeah. Right.
Hi. How are you? Yes, and I'm super comfortable, by the way.
Good.
So thank
you. The Burning Limb Foundation. I mean, ultimately, when you boil down our mission, it's really to help those people who are suffering from a rare disease to find hope and funding. We believe that everyone, regardless of the ability to pay, should have the same opportunity to find healthcare opportunities for rare diseases like complex regional pain syndrome or CRPS. So the Burning Limb name comes from sort of the sensation that most of us that have extremity locations with CRPS. So, in fact, we feel like we're being burned alive. And so, you kind of get the symbolism of what Burning Man is. Everybody's familiar with that. And the Burning Limb Foundation sort of just came to me one night. I think it was, in the middle of the night, one of those nights that I was up in the middle of the night suffering from this, from this illness. So that's kind of what we do. I mean, ultimately, we bring hope to people, and we give grants and scholarships to people that are seeking treatment.
What is if you don't mind my asking, and I don't know how in depth you want to get on it, but I am curious, as I'm sure the audience is, how you came to have to deal with this yourself. If you want to share a little bit of your personal story.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. I'll give you the elevator version. I'm one of those, like some of your friends that is one of these people that have the multitude of the ABCs or the abbreviations. My story goes like this. It's funny you had mentioned being bit by a tick or getting bit by a mosquito. I happened to get West Nile in 2012.
Wow.
So that sort of predates this. My issue really began sort of many years ago. I have something called May-Thurner syndrome, which is a congenital defect of the one of your iliac veins, typically the left iliac vein. Unbeknownst to me, this causes compression of your veins and causes blood clots.
Okay.
So in 2015, I happened to have a fairly large blood clot, basically ankle to groin.
Oh my God!
Subsequently, had a pulmonary embolism, but it was the clots in my left leg that really triggered this CRPS or complex regional pain syndrome, and that is ultimately, when you look at it, it's basically an injury or caused by damage to or malfunction of the peripheral and central nervous system. It's a chronic neuroinflammatory disorder, and so. For me, my first inkling of having that was my foot turning purple and feeling like somebody was stabbing me with a knife, putting a bag of bees on my foot, and then hitting me with an electric cattle prod 24/7.
Wow, that's very descriptive and very. That sounds awful. So when you first started experiencing that, I mean, how long did it take to get a diagnosis or the diagnosis that you have today? Because I know this is something. Is it RPS or CRPS that you have, or is it?
Yeah. The old nomenclature used to be reflex sympathetic dystrophy, or RSD.
RSD.
The common terms, they call it complex regional pain syndrome. Basically, a constellation of symptoms.
Okay.
Because it's not typically just one particular symptom that we usually have. It could be spasms, insomnia, inflammation, chronic burning pain, etc. It's this whole host of things. So I was one of the lucky ones that my personal physician, I happened to be going back to him because I needed a refill of my blood thinner medication once I had the clot, and he looked at my foot and said, and this is a day that I'll never forget, was he said, I see the way you're guarding your foot. I see the color change. He goes, you have RSD. And I said, what's that? And he goes, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't ever like telling this to anybody, but you have this, disease that we think, ultimately has no cure. So I was really one of the fortunate ones that was diagnosed, within a month. But
yeah,
one of the problems that we have is that it's so really unknown amongst the traditional medical community that, one, it's hard to get a diagnosis, and then secondarily, even if you get the diagnosis, where do you go? What do you do with it? So that's a challenge for many of us that get diagnosed with this illness.
Yeah, because it can't be great to hear, the doctor say something like, I can't even imagine it, to say something to you like, okay, here's what you have, and I'm really sorry to tell you this because I hate having to tell people this. But at least he was able to get you a diagnosis quickly, because I know, just from what Jenny has told me too, and seen what she's gone through, people go for a very long time with without a formal diagnosis of exactly what's going on. How common is this? Do you know?
The numbers that I've seen put out by the National Institute of Health is anywhere in the 200 to 250,000 range. So if you think about that in terms of the population of the U.S., and those are the only numbers that I have here in the U.S. Worldwide, it's probably much larger than that. But that puts us less than 1% of the population. So it is categorized as a rare disease. It's certainly not one of these that's that is a genetic 5 in the world kind of thing, but it's still rare enough that it just is not that well known. Right.
And then, so what do you do for this? There's no cure. So what has been in terms of medications or anything? Or do you just have to gut it out?
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the misnomers I think about this illness is that people will say that there's no cure, but I'll tell you, I'm walking, talking proof that that treatment is available for this, for this illness, because I sit here today and I have, virtually none of the signs and symptoms of having, complex regional pain syndrome. And I was lucky enough to find a treatment option that was sort of outside the box at the time. And so, traditionally, if you go by the gold standard of what the traditional allopathic medical community will do for you, they will do things like give you biophosphonates, which is neridronate. They'll do things like desensitization therapy, sensory deprivation therapy, ketamine, graded motor imagery, a dorsal root ganglion stimulator, spinal cord stimulator, give you gabapentin, opioids, physical therapy, things like this. So they'll throw a lot of different, what I would consider Band-Aids, at you, because they want to treat a neuroelectrical problem with chemicals that are not really designed for that. So that's the traditional medical community gold standard. And I tried a lot of those, not all of them, obviously, but
sure.
I tried enough to where things like gabapentin or Neurontin made me absolutely loony and crazy. I avoided the opiates. My experience as a teenager, becoming a drug addict when I was, very young, I've always gravitated against that. Again, trying to treat an electrical problem with a muscular type of drug, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just dulls the pain. It doesn't really do anything. So the question is then, what are the other options for you? And I'll tell you, my first go-to, we were lucky enough. My wife found in one of her many searches in the middle of the night this little clinic in Fayetteville, Arkansas called the Neurologic Relief Center. A doctor by the name of Dr. Katinka Vandermeer, spelled Vanderwe. She's from South Africa. She's a chiropractor, and she has put together a multimodality treatment facility where she treats the root of the neurologic dysfunction. So the thing that I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to do was I went to her clinic for 10 weeks. That's the challenge, is that it's basically retraining the brain. It is doing some things both physical therapy-wise as well as brain training that will positively affect the way that your body heals itself. So she'll tell you straight off that she doesn't cure CRPS, but she works on the underlying symptomology and physiology that your body's experiencing. I for one, am a believer that the body and the mind are tied together. So with a positive mindset, a lot of things are possible. So there are other alternatives. There's things like the lightning process, which is an emotional healing therapy. There are types of devices like Dr. Donald Rhodes, who has developed something called the vector machine, which works on a variety of different things within the body. Neuropeptides, for instance. There are frequency-specific microcurrent, which is made by or designed by Dr. Carol McMakin out of Oregon. That's the actual thing that actually worked for me, was the frequency-specific microcurrent. That was one of the ingredients in the secret sauce.
Okay, great. We're talking with Philip Robert, the CEO and founder of the Burning Limb Foundation, and Jenny has been putting in the Facebook live chat some great information as well, and the link to the website. Jenny was saying CRPS/RSD is a chronic neuroinflammatory disorder. It is classified as a rare disorder by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. However, up to 200,000 individuals experience this condition in the U.S. alone in any given year. And she put your contact info in there and whatnot, and we'll hit that at the end of the segment, of course. And if anybody in the Facebook live chat has a question or a comment or anything, or Ryan, if you want to jump in on anything, feel free.
Yeah, I just real quickly, I did want to say, it's so awesome to hear somebody come on and say the things that need to be said. Like that, yes, of course, our brains are connected. Finally, I love hearing somebody who's basically not me screaming like these
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Because this guy, I mean, when I say stuff, people are like, oh, okay, Bob. But I mean, this gentleman's obviously, well read and knows what he's talking about, and to have somebody come out and say things like, for somebody like me, I can translate that to anybody that doesn't get what he's saying is, if you think you're sick all the time, or like you can connect these things, you can manifest things by thinking
Sure.
about it, which is why meditation is great, which is why positive thinking is great,
Right,
and
right.
the power of prayer or group stuff where people are just focusing energy on good stuff is just such a good way to, I don't know, live your life, you know?
Right, right. Absolutely. And Jenny posted in the Facebook live chat, a Biogen scientist said their belief is the disease is autoimmune in nature. Do you have thoughts on that and how to treat it?
Yeah, I firmly believe that a lot of the roots, particularly, if you look at people who have, whether it's a genetic disorder like an MTHFR, for instance,
Yeah.
or if you have things like mono, my wife is a great example. She's a cancer survivor, thriver. She firmly believes that, that it was the mono infestation, so to speak, when she was, 20 or so, that did it. If you look at things
Interesting.
like fibromyalgia, if you look at all of the sister diseases, a lot of this can be autoimmune related. I look at my own background, and I was pretty sickly as a child. I was allergic to everything. I'm a believer in the fact that our environment has caused a lot of our autoimmune disorders, whether it's Roundup being sprayed on everything. We can go down that conspiracy rabbit hole if you want at a later time. But, I really believe that ultimately, our immune system really sets us up for being susceptible to things like a traumatic injury, in which then the body goes haywire or the brain goes haywire. So I think that they're all related to some extent.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Can you tell us a little bit about, you did mention the, I think I heard the word frequency in there, the treatment that you found that finally worked for you. I'm just curious to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get into the details of what frequency-specific microcurrent does, one of the things that, if you look at us on a cellular level, right, when we are in a fight or flight, or our sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive, we are expending a tremendous amount of energy with the body being in that state. One of the things that frequency-specific microcurrent does, the way that it is explained to me, if you look at go to your biology books and look at the Krebs cycle, one of the things in the Krebs cycle is ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. One of the things that machine does is that it increases the amount of free ATP in your body. That is cellular energy, so it helps fix the cell on a very basic cellular level. I can't speak too much about the true underlying dynamics. What I can tell you though is that it works on doing things like fixing the leaky gates that our electrical system has. But that ATP is so very important because, again, as individuals, we are spending so much time being in that fight or flight stasis mode that we just have a very difficult time then doing what we need to do to have the energy to heal the body.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a very simple machine, it acts in many respects like a muscle stim machine. Most of us have gone to the chiropractor, done physical therapy.
Sure.
We feel that little tingly sensation. It's non-invasive. That is one of the things that I like about it. They use a different protocol that works on specific areas of the body. But a really unique, interesting device, that I think, at least for me, going back to when I sought out treatment, that was one of the few tools that Dr. Katinka had available to her at that time. Now she's got a whole host of other different methodologies that are working very well.
How long did it take before you got to what worked?
Yeah, I'm so fortunate that I'm so blessed to be one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
So the hardest thing for me was this sensation of muscle clenching. My foot would just clench up. muscle spasms. But the electric shock was so painful, and it was about 3 to 4 weeks before I started to see a meaningful reduction. And then by week 8, the frequency and severity of those shocks were so dramatically reduced. I really, I would have them a couple of times a day, and then by 6 months later, they were gone. I couldn't even tell you the last time. This was 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, since I've been in treatment, that I felt one of those.
Oh wow, that's great. Good for you. No, that's very positive. And when did you start the Burning Limb Foundation? When did you found that?
Yeah, great question. So, born from that experience in treatment, I really recognize the fact that, here I am. I'm fortunate enough to be able to have drawn upon my savings and my 401k to pay for, what amounts to, $20,000 to $30,000 in medical treatment costs. And that's excluding your, the cost to rent an apartment or a hotel room and food and whatnot while you're up there.
Yeah. So
I really saw the need for the ability for others to share in that same experience, to be able to share in that same healing. And so it was late 2016 as I was doing some, sort of some internal work in a program called Discovery, that my mission really kind of evolved. And so from my experience at the clinic, really the seeds of what is now known as the Burning Limb Foundation was germinated. So that really kicked off in motion, just, how do I want to set up a foundation or a nonprofit where I could go solicit donations from friends, family, corporate entities, whoever was willing to contribute to our cause. And then I could turn around and make those funds available to people regardless of their socioeconomic status. I don't care what color you are, what race, religion, creed. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. You have the opportunity to get a grant from us to go seek treatment. My only request is really that you are taking an active part in your own recovery. So that was kind of how it was founded. I really just felt the need to give back to others, and being a person throughout my life who's just been willing to be of service to others. I can tell you that despite the dark days that I have sometimes because of my other illness, the best days that I have are the days that I write the check that gives somebody an opportunity to go to treatment.
I can imagine.
I can't tell you what that feels like, other than it is one of the best feelings on the planet.
No, I can imagine that has to be great.
Absolutely. I think that when sick in any form, like especially like if mental health, as far as that's concerned, at least for me, when I am feeling awful, I know that reaching out and getting outside of myself is one of the quickest ways for me to feel better. Which is amazing that's kind of how, I don't know, we're set up. Like if you don't feel well about yourself, you help someone else and you feel better. It's just a good philosophy, good way to be. And this guy sounds awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
right in my wheelhouse for the type of humans that need to exist in this world.
There you go. You've made a couple new fans today. I agree with Ryan. So good for you. You're helping people, and that's fantastic. So, and do you kind of run this on your own, or do you, I assume you have help, right? Did you have to hire a bunch of people, or is this kind of do you kind of do this all yourself?
This is a journey of love. This is my baby. I have been fortunate enough to, and number one. Let me just go back to the beginning. You introduced me as CEO. I'm not the chief executive officer. I'm the chief encouragement officer.
Oh, I like that.
That's my title here. That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
So for the last couple of years, really since we've been doing this, it's been myself, my wife, my daughter has helped out as well. And like I said, it's a labor of love. So, but we're getting to the point where we've gotten some traction, and I don't take a salary. I won't take a salary until we have, I would like to see us have $1 million in the bank before I even, want to draw a salary. But, so I really believe in keeping our administrative costs low so that all of the money that we have available to us flows to others. So that being said, we've been fortunate enough to bring on a documentary filmmaker who has worked with another leading nonprofit in the space, and her name is Alice Lowe. We're lucky enough to have her working with us for a short time. We're going to give this a run and see, we can build out a board of directors, and make some other contacts, put on some conferences and the like. But it's really been myself, and I would like to organize an army of volunteers. We'll get to that. That was one of my goals for this year.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So what didn't we discuss that you want people to know before? You've been generous with your time today, and we appreciate it. And maybe we can kind of make a regular thing out of this from time to time. We'd love to have you back to talk, about this and kind of keep us updated on what's going on. But what haven't we talked about today, Philip, that you want people to know about what you do, your organization, how you can help people? And actually, too, maybe in a broader sense, any words of encouragement that you have for people who are struggling with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I'll start by saying, our website. You can go check out our. I got a very bare bones website. Again, this is one of these things I built myself, so it's not anything extravagant. But it's www.burninglimb.com. So it's burning like you're on fire, and then limb like a tree limb. BURNINGLIMB.com, burninglimb.com. Just come check us out. See what's out there. We have a Facebook page if you want to check in, and I usually will post testimonial videos of people that we have given grants to as they complete treatment. So a couple of things that I'd love to share with you, because I want to just make it clear that we are treatment agnostic. In other words, the grants that we give is not predicated upon you going to, for instance, the Neurologic Relief Center in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We've given grants for help with making copays on physical therapy. We've made grants for, training service dogs and the like. So we are treatment agnostic. If for instance, you're doing ketamine, we're not averse to that at all. We want you to just take an active part in your own recovery. So I just want to make that clear that we don't discriminate based on kind of my own personal preferences. The only things that we just will not pay for would be opiates. That's just one of our no-nos.
Good thing.
Secondly, let me share kind of how people can help, and secondarily why.
Mm-hmm.
So how you can help, obviously, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so any contribution is tax deductible. If you feel so moved, please help us out with a contribution. That's the kind of the how you can help. The why, our strategy is really simple. We provide seed money, and we provide help with the fundraising that's needed, because we've got a platform that can essentially receive funds in from your donors. We're small enough that we can essentially, operate as almost like a donor-directed fund. If you say, I've got $5,000, I've got somebody that is near and dear to me, I'd love for you to contribute to them, well, then we make that accommodation. Our grants typically, start $500 to $1,000. Ultimately, we're playing small ball. We hit singles and doubles, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, so to speak. But my vision is for us to be able to say, here's $20,000. You show up to treatment. Here's your plane ticket, your car ride, whatever the case may be. You show up to treatment and you get help. That's the bigger picture, longer term runway where I'd like to be. We have essentially 2 methodologies or 2 grant programs. One is just our general grant fund, and it's available to anybody. But more importantly, I want to share a little story about a young lady by the name of Elle Seiden. Elle Seiden lost her battle with CRPS last year in July. 13 years old, struggled with this disease. Was told by countless doctors, it's all in your head. And she chose a different path than some of us were lucky enough to take. And so in memory of Elle, we've initiated the Elle Side Memorial Grant for women, essentially 25 years of age and younger. And this is a targeted grant because the demographics go like this: that young women are diagnosed 3 to 4 more times than men. And it's a segment of the population that, why should they be discriminated against when they are more susceptible to that? So we've got a specific grant for younger women. We want to get them in while they're young, while they have the opportunity to then lead fulfilling lives. So on that same line, I want to give a shout out to the Seiden family and the Ruda family, who've been such big supporters of the Burning Limb Foundation. They have just been fantastic for us. So I wanted to reach out and share that. But there's 2 things that I look at in a nonprofit, just to kind of wrap up my pitch, is that one, where are your monies going? We can show that we have such a low overhead, run rate that, last year out of, I think we had $80,000 or $90,000 in donor revenue.
Yeah.
We had less than 5% in overhead expenses. And then secondarily, how do we measure whether, this is a success? And I'll tell you how. One is that we have just a simple form that people fill out when they are seeking a grant, and we can capture a number, from 1 to 10. It's a very binary scale. My pain level is an 8 to 9 to 10 on a regular basis. You know what? We follow up with them, and when they're done with treatment or wherever they're at, we get a number from them, and we can say that their numbers are a 1, a 2, a 0 now, and we can show discrete measures of success here. And I think last week, or actually it was this week, Dr. Katinka showed that 80% of the respondents of people that she was following up with at her clinic, were showing favorable results. We also are able to show these video testimonials and pictures that show, the progress before and after treatment. So, I like to see that, one, we can show discrete, measurable success rates, but that's a tangible ROI. And what better ROI that when we help people give their lives back?
And for those who don't know, ROI, of course, return on investment, and also too, it's a great. That's what a great way to encourage people too, who not only to donate and to help people, but people who just I'm sure there's a lot of people who struggle with this, who just feel kind of beaten down by it, and you mentioned that the 13-year-old girl that you talked about, that's really tragic, and people who really need that encouragement and to know that there are solutions and different things that they can try, and that there's help available. I mean, that's man. Sometimes hope is not. I don't want to sound cliche about it, but hope, just hope is a powerful thing, and it's something people need. Especially with something like this. So.
I'll tell you, just Matt, one of the beautiful things and the intangible thing about this illness, is that it isolates you from your friends, your family. We're always canceling on engagements. We have trouble getting out and doing things. That isolation builds into this feedback loop that is this negative tape that we play in our head. I'm not worthy. I'm suffering so much. And we get isolated from our friends and family. One of the beautiful things that I found, in particular, again, I can speak from my own experience, is that when I went to the clinic, I found a room full of people that they weren't just sitting around a doctor's office with their head buried in a magazine. We shared our experience, strength, and hope with each other. That we shared our stories. We shared our winning days and our losing days. And that spark of hope, you would be surprised at how powerful that is, and the difference that makes in someone's ability to say, I want to fight for my recovery at this point. So that's just one of the beautiful things that I think when we inspire people with a shred of hope, that can make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Ryan, did you have anything else you wanted to ask before we wrap up with this gentleman?
I just want to say, when I drop by here on Matt's from time to time, so I had no idea who the guest was or anything, and it's so refreshing to hear somebody that's out there putting his money where his mouth is. He's not just talking about the problems. It's like, all right, there's a problem around here. I'm going to take the steps to fix it. And honestly, the world, myself included, I complain like a ton. I'm a complainer, but I'm also pretty self-aware. So I'm also trying to make adjustments on like what I do. And to hear this gentleman is a breath of fresh air, dude. Like a doer. Look at that. Holy smokes. He's not just out there being like, hey, this is a problem. Anyway, go back to my, I just wanted you guys to know that the life sucks if you didn't know. But it's awesome to hear, and I'm totally stoked that I got to hear this today. So
yeah,
because I've got this, like I said, I have complaints about stuff in this world, but I want to do something about it, and it's inspirational to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google how to start a foundation because I don't want to ask him how do you start a foundation. Like that's gonna be like a horrible radio question right now.
It's a lot easier than you would expect, Ryan. But
that's what I like to hear.
Living in the solution and being part of that, is certainly much more rewarding than staying stuck in the problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, Philip, but before we let you go, and like I said, you've been very generous with your time today, but please remind us all one more time, the website, any other contact info you want us and the listeners to have, or anything else you want us to know before we let you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Matt. So the web address is www.burninglimb.com. That's BURNINGLIMB as in boy.com. My telephone number is posted on the website. I'm one of those people that I actually and talk to you, and even if it's just you want to share what's going on. My telephone number is 214-298-3354, or you can reach me at philip@burninglimb.com. I'm a pretty easy guy to get a hold of, and I'm happy to help regardless.
Okay, yeah, and for those of you on following along on Facebook, Jenny did post that information too in the Facebook live chat for everybody. And Philip Robert of Burning Limb Foundation, thank you so much, my friend. Wonderful to meet you, and let's talk again soon, and we'll stay in touch, and we'll stay up to date on what you're doing, because this is important stuff.
You have me on anytime. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the time and the opportunity.
All right, you got it, my friend.
Take care.
Take care, Philip.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. Well, that was cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and thank you to Jenny.
Dialing his number right now.
Thank you to Jenny for setting that up. And she said thank you to you, by the way.
I saw that. That was very nice. I don't know what but yeah, you're welcome. No, I don't know what I did, but
no, what you were saying about it's inspiring to see someone actually doing something and taking action, and
it's fantastic.
Yeah, we need more of that in the world.
Way more. And no, it's funny that he just was like, hey, I'm wicked accessible and call. I'm not joking. I'm probably going to call that dude later.
Yeah.
No, not that kind of call. I wait for those calls to come to me and then prank them.
Right.
Not that guy. No way.
No.
Yeah, he is immune to my shenanigans.
Yes.
But I think I could probably gain a wealth of knowledge by speaking to somebody like that. Because I wasn't joking. There's stuff I want to do.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to just say I want to do it. I was like, I want to do it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. It is weird that I made that joke about West Nile virus and mosquitoes, and then it comes up in the conversation. It's like, wow.
That is funny. And another thing that has nothing to do with diseases or anything, but it's something he said, and then you clarified what it was, because it's hilarious. I was talking to my my girlfriend about something, and about another one of my great ideas that's going to make $1 bazillion. And I was like, yeah, it'll cost me like $1,000 $2,000 probably to start it, which is, by the way, based off of zero research. It's just like I'm just like assuming that's what it would be.
Due diligence is way overrated.
Yes, I was just trust me. I don't know. I just like skimmed through stuff and saw like zero. Don't know the laws behind this thing or like anything. But she's like, and she's a corporate business type, and she goes, okay, well, you know, what would the ROI be on something like that? And I was like,
the Roy?
Yeah, I'm like, what? And she was like, the return on investment. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So I went back to the drawing board with that plan. But it was funny that you said this was like a week ago.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like ROI mess. Like, yeah. In case anyone doesn't know that, and I was gonna be like, yeah, I know what it is now.
Well, you did reveal earlier that you flunked out of med school. Sounds like you flunked out of business school as well.
Well, I didn't do so hot at the Wharton School of Business either. But Harvard Medical School was more boring for me. I mean, yippity-doo, I could perform surgery, at a young age anyway.
Right.
Without it's just...
Of course.
Honestly, it's just like, don't do the wrong thing and you're fine.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, that's
like anything in life, really.
Yeah, I failed out of magic school because I'd say the spells wrong and like stuff would happen.
Sure.
So I'm still trying to feel it out and see what's going on. I'm thinking about going back into the dongle business.
There's always money in dongles.
Yeah, Dongosaurus Rex.
You ever see there's Trump dongles? Have you seen these?
Trump is a dongle.
Apparently, that's how he lost most of his money on Trump dongles.
I'm not surprised.
That's where he lost $1 billion on
$1 billion dongles.
On his on $1 billion dongles.
Yep.
Let's see. In the Facebook live chat, Pandora says, Ryan, do you have any art recommendations?
Yeah, mine. Please.
Yes.
No. Art recommendations as far as, if she could clarify, like artists that I'm a fan of, or
I don't know,
or who's like hot in the art market, because I'm not like I don't know, fancy gallery type. Well, I mean, I like galleries, not just like, I don't know, like auction type stuff. And I'm sure you're not looking for like a Sotheby's piece or something from whatever that auction's called.
Philip Robert, hello. He joins us in the Facebook live chat. Jenny says, Ryan, I love you. Stop mumbling. Get up on that mic.
Oh my
LOL.
God! You know what? If I'm not mumbling, I'm like going off like like I do, and I'm trying to not do that today.
It's good though. It's good energy.
As soon as Philip said something about, well, we don't have to go down that conspiracy theory thing, I'm like, oh God. So I will all day.
I forget now. What did he refer to when he said that? What was he referring to?
He was referring to I believe it was something about the. I'm gonna mumble and stutter more. I can tell you, I want to say it was about like the ketamine thing and something to do with like people that might judge a certain kind of treatment. They don't.
I thought there was something else.
Probably not. That's one of the things that is stuck in my head because I'm a firm believer in stuff like that. I swear it must have been that, because that could lead to, or it was just a conspiracy theory in my head. Then maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if he can remind us. I'm sorry.
Do you ever come up with your own conspiracy theories to put out there? Because I think that would be fun. Like just to see what people will believe.
Do I throw some horse?
Yeah. Just make something up and put it out there, and like make a video saying I have proof of this. And
you know what? I definitely have, and I off the top of my head I can't. I mean, I used to do that at work all the time. Like, but I off the top. Oh, this is a good one. I didn't start this one, but it's a good one. People say that like Alex Jones is actually, the conspiracy is actually that he works for the government and he's the disinformation guy that they want. It's like, so I mean,
and then
off the
Bill
top
Hicks.
of my head I can't recall one that I've done, but now that you said that, I'll make sure I get one out there tonight.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be fun too to just make up an ethnic stereotype and see if it catches on. Like
absolutely. Dude, please, everybody knows that Slovakians are born with 3 arms.
Yes,
and they're removed at birth.
That's right. The Slovakian government does that.
Yeah.
Melania she was born with 3 arms.
She obviously.
And today she's first lady. So see,
not to be mistaken with the Slopenians.
Right.
Right. Because they were born with a.
Right.
You know what?
Yes.
And that changed it to Slovenian.
Right,
They don't
yes.
have to get, you know. And, of course, I mean, dongleitis is a real disease.
It
So
is.
that's,
It's
been a
terrible.
problem.
Dongleitis and dongleria.
Yeah,
which
dongleria
is really
the worst.
Because there's not really, I don't think there's a cure for that one.
No, there is not, and it burns.
Yeah, talk about some burning limbs, huh?
I'm telling
Well,
you.
you get the dongleria.
I'm telling you.
By the way, I was surprised to see Peter White here. I don't usually see him
Yeah,
this
you
late.
know what? Me too. I wasn't expecting to see Pete in the afternoon.
And then
you
I
know?
thought he kidnapped your friend.
No, I think Mike ran out there to handle that for me. You know, he was like, "Wait, don't you come in there."
Right.
No, it was nice to see Peter this morning. He was
yes.
He was very very nice to me this morning on the air. I mean,
Is
he's
he-
nice to me all the time because we're good friends. But it was a big surprise.
Oh, really? What? He was nicer than usual?
Yeah, something must be going on.
Was that your impression of him when you said big surprise? The way you said it, you kind of sounded like him. Do you do a Peter White impression?
No, I'm not that lazy.
Oh.
No, I'm
goodness.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say he was nice today. Now I'm just starting it back up.
Yes.
Idiot. No, I love Pete. Do I do a Peter White impression?
Well, the way
no.
you said big surprise, you actually kind of sounded like Peter White just now.
Yeah, I could probably do a Peter White.
Oh.
I could probably do a Peter. I know a guy that can do an impression of everybody on Peter White's show.
Who?
That comes. I don't think he'd want me to just put him on blast like that. But if you ask Gonzo, he can probably tell you who can. Connarton, if you wanted to call him up and see if somebody's that he knows can do it.
Right.
He does them all. It's great.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Wow.
Sorry,
Oh.
Zo. I didn't mean to do that, Gonzo, but I did. Yeah, Gonzo does a fantastic. He does a fantastic Lenny. He does a fantastic Eric. He does a fantastic Daryl Dion.
Really? Yeah.
Does a great Pete. It's wonderful.
Oh, wow.
They're not like rude or anything. They're just spot on with mannerisms, stuff like that.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, wow. Jenny says ketamine for RSD is way different than depression, but both are treatments because it's also effective for depression. The first is experimental still. The second is accepted practice now in some practices, but the feds have okayed it for depression. Michael Albert says, don't be like Easy G. Get up on that mic. Yeah, Eric.
Am I being wicked quiet, dude? I'm usually wicked loud, dude. So you guys are asking for it.
No,
Right?
it's better now. Yeah, Eric sometimes like he'll almost be like in the middle of a sentence and he'll just get up. He'll be walking around the room.
I get up and walk around too.
Yeah, not like him though, But
Let's
see.
it practically in my face now, in my mouth.
Oh, you don't.
Jeez, good God! I also did shit.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
want to
just saying.
look at these cover. You don't want to be too close to that.
Yeah, I usually wouldn't have a cover on one. but-
Yeah. Pandora says, I mean, what do you like to paint?
What do I like to paint? Okay,
Yes.
now that's my style of question there.
Yes.
Pandora, what do I like to paint? I like to do what my sensei Gonzalo he has taught me, which is I just follow my thread. I rarely set out to, or if I do set out to paint something, I am such in my opinion, like a bad classical artist. Like as in, I'm going to draw a painting of like a hippopotamus, and I draw it, and I'm like, I meant the Buddha, and like I do stuff like that. So I do what Gonzo said one time was, no, Gorman, you follow your thread, and basically what that is, I'm just Pandora. I paint until like, or I mean, I'm getting into other stuff besides painting as well. So I'm using like different mediums, but I will paint until I'm looking at it and it's done, and only I know that when it's done.
Right.
So I'm got a little bit of like a Jackson Pollock style, which is super abstract, and then I like Basquiat. He's one of my favorite artists, but he also paints and draw like he's like a toddler, which I do too, and I actually really like that look, and I think he's an amazing artist. I also like Warhol stuff where you're using printmaking and collaging and different things like that, and I don't know, I usually throw a little bit of those things together. I like to paint weird stuff, that's for sure. I like to paint anything that depicts a war as atrocious.
Yes.
And racism is atrocious. Just the world as it is right now is not it's just not the best. So
Right.
I think a lot of that comes out in some of my art. I don't set out to paint anything. Honestly to God, I just started painting to stay off of drugs.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that I think saved me from going back after going into rehab and then coming back to the real world after like 8 months in some type of like treatment
Right.
facility, whether it's it was a rehab and then a sober house and then blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got back to like regular life where I'm not surrounded by that. And eventually, if you're not doing, if you're not moving your feet, so to speak, you get stagnant. And it was Gonzo that put a spray can in my hand and a
Oh, no
canvas.
kidding.
Yeah. Because he was like, because I confided in him one day. I was like, dude, I don't know. Sometimes I think just being a drug addict was more fun. And once a drug addict, always a drug addict. But to be being an active drug addict,
Right,
is a lot more exciting. And he just convinced me. He's like, you should take this and go in the other room and just paint for a little while. I'm like, dude, I don't paint. I'm like, gross. I was a lacrosse player in high school. Like, come on, I don't paint. What do you have? On and on. I finally went in there and I'm like, what was it? I think you meant just go in there for a couple of minutes. But I was in there for like 4 hours. And then,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and then after that, I had somebody bring me to Hobby Lobby like the next day. I was like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'm hooked. And then, and now I am officially an insane, I just need to paint something now type of person.
Hello to the Honorable Heidi Hamer, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. She says, hey there. How do you feel about that? Have you seen the painting pig? I forget the pig's name.
The painting pig? It's a pig. They put like a paintbrush in his mouth or something. And
Yeah, and apparently these paintings sell for thousands of dollars.
Oh, I love stuff like that. Like monkeys that smoke butts. I know that's not like a good thing, but dude, I love them. Dude, if you can get me like a rhesus monkey with a low chuck poo rate, but he smokes butts and paints.
Yeah.
Set me up.
Well,
Please,
how low a chuck poo rate?
Well, he's gonna chuck poo. He's a monkey. We know this.
Well, that's the
they
thing,
play
yeah.
fecal toss. Everybody knows this. But I don't need a rogue random poo chucker. Dude. I'm all set. I'm all set. But I mean, like somebody mouths off to me and wants to huck a handful of somebody, then I'm okay with that.
Because you would think a monkey's not going to want to be smoking and chucking poo at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean, the smoking's more of a.
There's a lot that could go wrong there.
Yeah, and of course, you don't want to mix business and pleasure. So
right, yeah.
You figure out which one is business and which one is pleasure. I think the monkey business is the monkey business.
Oh, right. Well, to me, I mean, I wouldn't want to smoke or chuck poo, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I don't like doing it anymore. I think,
Which one?
I still check poo.
Yeah,
But, yeah. That's what's been downtown.
Oh, right.
You know who's been taking pictures of it.
That's right, yes.
Sorry, dude. I'll stop chucking dung down the street.
If it really bothers you, I guess I'll
so much,
stop.
dude. And you're not going to give me cred in your pictures, dude. Dude, I do love monkeys, though. As far as that stuff goes. Dude, they're just disgusting little creatures. They're hilarious.
Right.
Like, hey, what's up? Come on over here. I'll pick some bugs out of your hair. I'll put my thumb up here. And they're wild. I love them.
Well, I think that's nice. Yeah, I mean, they're willing to do that. Yeah.
Yes, they do have thumbs. He's telling me they don't have thumbs.
You can get on the mic if you want.
He doesn't want them.
No, okay. All right.
You can.
No pressure.
Yeah. They do. Monkeys have thumbs,
Don't
right?
they? Don't they have opposable thumbs?
Yes. No, they got 4 hands, bro. I swear. I got to look it up.
It
man.
may
I'm
depend.
sorry.
It may
I'm
depend.
going to be so
on
embarrassed if I just said I love monkeys and I don't even know whether they have hands or not. I know they masturbate in public. Which is interesting.
Right.
We know that
they're very bohemian that way. They'll just
Dude, I love, and sorry to go off on a tangent about monkey poo huckers, but now that we're here.
It is an underserved issue.
I'll move on from this because I'm sure some of your listeners are like, really, dude? Yeah, really, for just a second. The best video ever. By the way, I love when kids or adults are messing with monkeys in a zoo or any animal in the zoo, and the animal's finally like, oh, yeah, dude, and they do something.
Yeah.
Best one I ever saw was a baboon, I think it was. But these people are laughing, and they're up on an upper tier, and this thing runs by, drive-by poo chuck, dude. Just runs by. Dude, it chucks, and all this, the camera falls on, and all you just hear everybody go, ooh, and there's an elderly like grandma in a wheelchair with a shirt across her face, bro. And I lost it. And I apologize. I took it to here, so we'll move on. But if you haven't seen it, please, if this is the kind of stuff you do think is funny, please check it out.
I don't know. See, for me, it might be funnier in my mind. Let you do paint a picture. And both literally and figuratively. And I must say, in my mind, it's hilarious. But if I were to actually see it, I might be more grossed out than amused.
No, I promise you won't be.
Really?
No, because you already know it's poo. You know it's coming. And,
I know, but that is someone's grandma.
Yeah, well, quiet down in the monkey.
You said she's in a wheelchair?
Listen, I didn't put her there.
Well, that makes it funnier.
Well, I mean,
it
makes it funnier that she couldn't run away if she saw it coming.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Imagine if everybody else moved.
Right.
It's just like,
yeah. Sorry, Grandma.
Yeah. Sorry, Grandma. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But llamas spitting on people. Hilarious.
I mean, doesn't Grandma in that instance kind of get what she has coming to her anyway? I mean, she's the one who wanted to go to the zoo.
Yeah, you let them roll you out to the monkey exhibit. You know what they do. You're lucky it was just poo, based on what I just said earlier.
I mean, my grandmother, I remember this vividly. She would always be, "Oh, why don't you take me to the zoo?" And we were all like, "No, Grandma, it's gonna be a hassle. You just stay home and bake a pie or something." You know what I mean?
Way less chance of a monkey throwing poo at you in that situation.
Well, that's what we used to tell her. It's safer at home, Grandma. Just bake us some pies or something, or knit something,
Exactly.
Taking you to the zoo?
Knit me an Afghan, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I never said that.
Well,
but you might have to your grandma.
I would never have requested Grammy to do anything.
Right.
She just did it anyway. She was the best.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Passed away when I was 6. I haven't had I haven't had grandparents since 1990, like something, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
So you never had the opportunity to bring your grandmother to the zoo to have a monkey throw poop on her?
Dude, I didn't, but do you want to hear something wild?
Very sad.
My grandfather, Grammy and Grandpa, my mother's side, it was my grandmother's brother, Uncle Willie, I'm not lying, had a monkey on his farm that was notorious for throwing poo.
No kidding.
That's not a lie.
Yeah.
That's not a lie. True story. So maybe it's been ingrained in my, body, my mind since.
Right.
I'm not a fecal-philiac or anything.
Right,
I don't
right.
That, I don't even know if that's a real word, but it should be. If it is.
Well, we did evolve from monkeys in theory, right? I mean, if you believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, some say that. I think DNA from aliens.
Right.
Yeah, that's my.
So you don't believe in evolution? You believe DNA from aliens?
I believe that that it was DNA from aliens mixed with
monkeys.
Yes.
Really?
Or a different. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because there was some. Okay, I'm glad this came up, Mr. Gorman. Because after yesterday's show, there was some very brief debate in my household about. You had made a comment about coming here from another planet.
Oh, yeah.
And
the Hyades.
Jenny believed you were being serious. And
I am being serious.
I believed you were kidding. So
absolutely not.
So Jenny was correct.
Yep, absolutely correct.
So you are an alien.
Listen.
Are you on the planet legally?
Well.
Are you stealing our jobs?
Well, listen, there's no wall you're going to build that's going to keep us out.
Well, that's true.
All right?
Well, that's true.
We're going to cut the brakes in my spaceship. No, I am dead serious. I am dead serious, though. Now, here's the thing. You have to keep in mind that, and I'm going to say this very matter-of-factly because it's the truth.
Okay.
And you know that because I told you.
Fair enough.
Listen, my beliefs, what resonates with me, first of all, I believe that the right thing is whatever resonates with you personally and doesn't affect other people's stuff they believe in.
Right.
Like, then that's what we call harmonious.
Ooh, I like that. I like harmony.
It's worth a try.
Yes.
World. But I believe that we are all listen. It's been said that energy cannot neither be created nor destroyed.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Only changed.
Right. And we are energy. So I believe we came from a prime creator, some source of energy. How did he get here, dude? I don't know. I don't really care. He started it. It wasn't an accident. Where'd the accident start from? There, if you guys want to argue that point.
Right.
But I believe that there's a prime creator, call him God, the universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it, was by itself and just was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and like started, made like good, evil, because you can't have evil. What's evil if what's good if you don't have evil? So you can't. So in a weird
without
way,
dark, there can be no light.
Exactly. So
Yes.
they're one and the same. It's one and the same. It's just two ends of a negative battery, positive battery.
Yin and
type of thing.
yang. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And it's I believe that energy just spawned into a bunch of different, we're all the same. Like you and I, you're me, I'm you, which is going to be confusing for people, but don't worry about it. I'm a confusing guy.
Yeah.
So I believe that we're just the same consciousness, having a human experience in different scenarios, so to speak. And whatever you do as a human or as whatever you are, reflects how like your next life cycle will be, karma, as Buddhists and Hindu and most Eastern religions refer to. But I believe like my soul, my original entity, came to consciousness on another plane. Another planet, whatever you want to call it, till we get there through space real. I don't know, dude. This is probably it could be a simulation. All I know is that from a little place next to the Pleiades called the Hyades. I used to think I was Pleiadian because I resonated a lot with them. But
sure.
Then I had a gentleman who definitely went to college for. I can tell you what planet you're from. It doesn't exist. So a guy that most normal human beings would be like, okay, so you went to a crazy person and they told you this, which I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. But I believe in reading, that doesn't get taken serious enough. I can get people's, I can tell if you're like a good, I'm usually right. I mean, once in a while do I get faked out and the person's really a jerk?
Sure.
Well, yeah, those are called ex-wives. But no, I'm just kidding. I was never actually married. I'm just joking. I don't have any bad exes. I think they're all awesome.
Sure.
How's second place feel? All of you. They're like, great, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I was dead serious. I do think that. I also think a ton of stuff that normal people think is, or quote unquote normal people think is wacky.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Right. Well, yeah, of course. All right.
I don't base my decision making on really, I don't know, I don't facts, dude. Come on, the scientific facts. I don't know. Nah, it's dude, does it make sense to you? Yes, it does. Does it harm anybody? No. All right, then you're good.
Right. Well, we live in a post-fact, post-truth world anyway.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, let's be honest. I don't want to do what I did yesterday, but let's be honest.
What did you do yesterday? I don't remember.
Oh my God, dude! Are you kidding me? Oh my God! I was like, oh my God, I can't shut up. And then somebody wants to say that 9/11. Never mind. I'm not going there. But
you mean your interaction with Fred?
No, by the way, I really like that guy.
He's
Fred's
super
nice
awesome.
guy.
I've known him
super
forever.
Super nice guy. Super respectful. He's funny. He's
Oh, Fred's great.
I did really like that guy a lot. So,
yeah.
And listen, most people disagree with it. I mean, look, you should see my immediate family. They're like, They're like, should we see if he's been accepted to Concord Hospital yet? It's like, yeah, don't threaten me with a good time. Won't they leave me in my pajamas and put a paintbrush in my hand? Sweet. Sounds like a dream job. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But yeah, I believe some weird stuff. But guess what? All my weird stuff is always shrouded with like I said it yesterday. Don't be a dick.
Right.
I can say that.
Yeah.
I'll try not to again. But don't be that.
Yeah.
And the world will be great. You know.
I agree.
You know, the military thing I went off on a little bit. It's like, well, dude, we hate all these other people that we don't know, and I'm supposed to like rally behind just why don't we just try sticking our noses in our own business a little bit? And but the people over there, it's like, dude, you don't know those people, do you? Because I don't. And I mean,
well,
I've actually been over there. Oh,
it's a business, and fear and xenophobia are fantastic marketing tools.
Which leads to what's Philip was talking about earlier, which I just said brain fart. Never mind. I totally just blanked my thoughts. He was What were we just talking about?
I don't know,
dude. This is a real side effect of my executive function disorder, ADHD. It's like I'll be in mid sentence, dude, and then just be like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what I was just about to say, but
yeah, and I'm a little distracted because all of a sudden my allergies are kicking my ass. That's why I keep coughing.
Oh, I thought it was because of the whiskey bottle I keep seeing you swig from right there.
Well, there is that, but I don't know if the FCC allows that.
By the way, lest anyone think that was a serious statement, Matthew is not.
No.
Taking swigs from a whiskey bottle.
Cough syrup.
He's on that Szerp.
Yes.
Oh, I remember
goodness.
now.
Oh, good.
I was going to say,
right.
yeah, I was going to say, Philip was talking about the fact that, or it made me think of this, that the more we tell people to fear stuff, things like that, and you get that in your head, this creates a negative, like, just, you think bad stuff, you get bad stuff, which is why, like, you know, and I try not to, like, dude, I used to be wicked into, like, the ID Discovery Channel, which would be all about, like, murdering housewives, like the wives that would kill their husbands.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Just, like, basically, like, crime murder porn. I used to love that.
I hate that stuff, yeah.
Dude, I realized when I cut that out of my life and cut, like, scary movies, like slasher type flick, any of that stuff, it's my aura feels better.
Good,
my energy feels better. There's no need for it.
That stuff is so toxic.
And we're so inundated with that stuff. It's
Absolutely.
just everywhere, dude. And I mean, I try really hard not to sound like a crazy. Well, I mean, there's that ship has sailed. But I try not to sound like a crazy, like, oh, you shouldn't do that because it's bad. Like, everybody do whatever you want, but I promise you, there's a reason why that stuff is just shoved in your face, because it's actually not good.
Right.
It's not good.
Oh, Fred Bonig joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Oh, that was the gentleman from yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Fred.
So hopefully he heard you compliment him.
Oh, I hope so too.
Yes.
I hope so
yes.
too. I was just gonna say, yeah, because I hope he heard me call him handsome, but I haven't seen him. I've never seen him. I was gonna.
He is a handsome man.
Is he?
I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say it. He's a handsome man.
Am I a handsome man? I think you're a handsome man.
I think that the beard gives you a certain.
It covers up the face a little bit, so we don't have to see it.
No,
Not the answer I was looking for, dude.
It gives you a certain rugged handsomeness.
Oh,
much
lumbersexual, like I'm a lumberjack that actually can't wield an axe.
Right,
I got you.
right.
No?
Much like the people's mayor, Glenn R.J. Willett. He's got that beard. He's ruggedly handsome.
All right, is somebody going to come in here to stop me from punching you? I now look like Glenn R.J. No, he's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful
but you
man.
remind
He's stylish.
me of him. His effervescence.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Now, if I knew you meant effervescence.
Yes.
No, he's
a sexy beast.
Listen, I wasn't going to say it, but you did. So listen, let me concur. He is a sexy beast.
I mean, you've heard the stories, like back in the 70s, like
could you imagine him in the 70s?
He and I and well, I don't have to imagine him. I mean, I was there. I mean, he and I and Paul Cormier, we would go to Studio 54.
I love it.
You know.
Wow, Diana Ross, she's there boogieing. You guys are there. Princess, who used to always go there? One of the Princess Kate? No, what was
Princess Leia? Carrie Fisher? Yes. Oh yeah.
Princess Leia from my home planet.
Cher was there. We'd pass her around. I mean, it was fantastic.
Was
were
Sonny
great times.
all right with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, Glenn was there, like I said. So it's all
yeah.
good. But Glenn would wear his white suit. You know. Oh man, those were the days.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Those were the days.
Boy, I can imagine him. Dude, I was going to make something for I think it was Pete's show, so I had to Google a picture of Glenn R.J. Willett, and I found some beauties.
Did you?
Oh,
yes.
he was definitely a flashy, fancy dude.
Yes.
I loved it.
There's the second sexiest beast right there, of course.
And he was also handsome. This older, shorter gentleman that just came in. Who was
about 7 or 8.
Oh, that was Hop, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I thought so.
Right. Yes.
I was gonna go say that, but wasn't sure, so then I want to go down the road.
And I don't care.
Oh boy, virtual John Hopwood gets all chiming in too.
He's a funny dude.
Yes,
he's a very animated fella.
Now, by funny, what do you mean? You mean like
funny
literally,
how? Like a clown? Like
yeah.
No, he's just like I mean, yeah, I don't know if he's funny in the classics. It's just like I enjoy his. I don't know. I literally feel like Spider right now, or what's his name in Goodfellas. Like I don't know what you mean. He's just funny. That's how. Matt. I don't know. I don't know. It's just the way he tells the story. I don't know. No, he's an energetic, funny type of guy.
Yes. Oh, Fred says yes, a lovely compliment. So he appreciates your compliment. He says also, if you're making noise or your butt is running, it's probably not allergies. So maybe it's kicking your nose, instead of my.
I was like, what? Wow. Now I get.
Yeah. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this? Hello, it's the Phantom.
Oh, hi, it's Chuck. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Chuck. How are you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Not bad. I had a question for your guest. Is it Brian?
No. Well, the B's silent. It's Ryan. Yes, sir. Chuck?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you're familiar with the planet Melmac.
Melmac? I am not. What's that
Where
system
Alpha's
is?
From.
Yes, Alpha.
We
who's
use
really
cats there. But I'm from Melmac, so I didn't know if the Pleiadian area was near Melmac. But I also heard a rumor that Gadsden drinks baby blood with Hillary Clinton. I didn't know what your thoughts were on that. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Well,
all right. Thank you, Chuck.
Chuck, I appreciate the call.
But I didn't even catch his question about Hillary Clinton. But you seem to.
It was actually a question about my friend Ted Gatzis, former mayor Ted Gatzis, who, as you know, we developed a bit of a. When I in Amsterdam, I was, by the way, a very young idiot.
Yes.
And, he just would say stuff to say stuff, and
sure.
I ran into the mayor one day, and he had made some comments. It ended up getting in the newspaper, and then I was like, "Oh my God!"
He didn't give you a big hug?
No, he gave me my hand a hug with his hand, and I thought it was going to break. And then he said something. Listen, first of all, I don't even want to bring it up because he was in the right, in my opinion. In this one, I'm an obnoxious younger jerk. But now I'm just an older obnoxious jerk. No, but he was not happy, and basically because I tried to apologize. I was like, hey, I was just saying that stuff, to be funny on the radio, and he just kind of insinuated that he would. If he was younger, he would have beat the snot out of me. And then he looked me up and down and goes, and by the looks of it, kid, I could probably still do it. I was like, all right, fair enough. And when that guy, if he, I don't know if you've met the gentleman, if he looks at you, he's got 1,000-yard stare. He could break you down, and just with his look and his handshake. So I went on the air and said something about it, and and they ended up putting it in the newspaper and then asking him about it. And I wasn't trying to get dude, I'm an idiot. Please don't take anything I say to a public official who's trying to get stuff done.
Right.
And then after that, I don't know. Somehow we got together again, and he was. I apologized again. He was nice, and we had been doing some benefit stuff around the city. So
did he give you a big hug then?
He did. We have had an embrace.
Right.
You know what's great is he was nice enough to do the intro for our 100th episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I had seen him a bunch of times since then. My kids met him when they were in the school district, and my son told him who he said my dad says he knows you, and he was like, oh yeah, yes, your dad's a nice guy, or whatever. And,
yeah.
Which was probably hard for him to say, but since it was my kid, he was very nice.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So the gentleman that called in just asked if Ted Gatzis drinks the blood of infants from with Hillary Clinton because because obviously, as yesterday would tell you,
right?
I believe that the world's run by a bunch of satanic lunatics that drink the blood of whatever.
Now, because we mentioned Hillary, we do have to play the song in the background. So there you go. But I think it's catchy. I think this is a hit.
See, I like it too, and I thought she was just saying 666, but she's not.
No, but she should be in your opinion, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely, she does.
Now, do you believe she's from this planet?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because there's 13 bloodlines that actually have a certain kind of DNA, so that the reptilians can attach themselves to these entities, which is why you'll see a lot of presidents are related. Barack Obama has some of the same bloodline as George Bush. He's
related to Dick Cheney.
Exactly.
Obama and Dick Cheney are distant cousins,
and with Bush as well.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt. So you've
I
read it.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
I read a whole thing on it, so you know that it means it's true. I can't even cite where I read it. But,
right.
But listen, like I said, if it resonates with me, then I believe it.
Right,
Rob,
yes,
what's up, dude?
yes, wow.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, my hands are, you don't know where they've been either. So.
Right, yes.
Good to see you, dude.
Wow, yeah.
But, yeah, I do believe that's tough, and I also don't have any proof to back it up. So.
Right. Well, I mean, proof, schmoof. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Didn't stop Donald Trump.
Point exactly.
What a businessman he is, though.
What is it that you don't have any?
No, Donald Trump.
Yeah, we'll all wind up in the toilet, which you know.
We'll see you when you get down here.
They say Easy G after he goes to the toilet, his hands are always wet.
Oh, true story. This is 100% true. There was one day he came in. Eric Gagnon was here for my show. He goes to use the bathroom. He comes back. I go to use the bathroom because the show's about to start. I drink a lot of water during the day. I go to grab the key, and the keys or the key and the lanyard are very wet.
Oh,
and,
oh my God!
And does he like?
Well, so
you hang it.
So
he doesn't lose it?
I go and use the restroom, and then I here let
We
me.
want to
see if this
Glenn
one works
about
better.
this.
Yes,
I want to see if this one works better. Is that better?
Actually,
That
yeah.
one,
Yeah,
you
all
sound
right. I
better.
think it's that because I'm wicked loud.
You
No one's ever told me to speak up.
You do sound better.
Ever.
But then, so I come back.
That one has terrible sibilance.
This
one too.
I come back and we get on the air, and I asked him about it on the air because I didn't have time to worry. Like I had to use the bathroom. I didn't have time to worry about it.
Hello
but
there.
He told me that he said that he said, don't worry, it's just water.
Yeah, we understand it's probably
water.
just water, but from where?
Right, yeah.
From where?
So he said, so apparently his explanation was when he washes his hands after, he's still holding on to the key while he's washing his hands.
He's not allergic to water?
I guess not.
Isn't he allergic to raw meat?
He did say he's allergic to raw meat, yes.
Aren't most people...
Well, you're not supposed to eat raw meat, but...
I've eaten steak tartare in Germany. West Germany.
Oh, fancy.
Tartare. Just hamburger, raw hamburger.
I know, but it sounds fancy when you call it that.
Only once.
A little bit of tuna tartare.
But here's the thing that disturbs me. So
yeah, I'm fancy, bro.
If he washes his hands while holding the key, what else does he do while still holding the key?
Or, dude, come on, maybe he dropped it in the toilet. I mean, we're assuming he didn't urinate on it.
Right.
Because that's like, whoa.
Well, although urine is sterile, so I guess it wouldn't be
For 24 hours.
For 24 hours?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
According to Kelsey Grammer's wife and her divorce petition, when he urinated on her parrot.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
I've never heard about that one, but that's
Wow.
That's a move.
Yeah, I guess.
He
yeah.
had many wives. This was like number 2.
Wow, I can't. He sounds like such a charming fellow. I can't understand why he'd go through so many wives. Right. Well, you know, some people urinate on. Well, never mind.
Yeah, like Russian. You know what?
Yeah, you know, and some people urinate on a bird. What do you?
Ryan does.
Everybody's got their thing.
Does His Highness? Does he?
Are you talking to Matt?
No,
he's
his
not the Highness. He's
His
not
Highness. Does he have regular functions like a regular human being?
Who?
Talking
Mr.
about
Peter White?
Peter White?
Yeah.
As far as I know, I don't know Peter's bathroom regimen. I'm assuming he urinates and does everything like a normal human being. Hopwood, I don't know.
I've never witnessed it.
Well, I've never witnessed it either, but
That's a
think,
good point.
Like I said, I can get a good vibe off people, and if you were... Listen, and I don't want to be offensive to anybody, but if you put Peter and the gentleman in question, like and you said, which one of these guys pees on their hand more? Listen, as much as I'd love to say Peter sometimes, and just to say it.
Oh, just because of his name being Peter.
No, I just don't. Well, because Peter's
The
another
Peter
name.
Prince.
Yeah, you know.
Peterbilt.
Even though he had the name Peter Piss.
Right.
No, I don't think. I think
Peter,
Peter's probably pretty
eater.
cleanly when he uses the bathroom. Hopwood, what are you insinuating,
I
sir?
have. In the old days, I drank mucho beer with him, and I've never seen him. You know, I'm not saying he's like Barney from
You
The
literally are
Simpsons.
taking score on when somebody goes to the bathroom. Remind me never to hang out with you. Dude.
That's pretty weird.
I'm just saying.
Holy smokes!
I was there with a camera.
Yeah, even worse. You're digging yourself a bigger
Didn't
hole.
come out too
Holy
well.
smokes!
I was documenting the Amsterdam crew. You know, from
What,
as we're going
since
through
when?
everything.
Hold on.
Just the one night.
Oh, all right. I was
Oh,
going
it
to
was
say,
a
I don't remember
hot
this going
night.
down.
Oh,
Hot
wow.
August, and there was that really good looking barmaid at the Pint.
I wasn't working at a bar, dude. Oh, sorry.
We were discussing earlier how
Mongo straight.
how good looking Ryan is.
Well, thank you. I was just so vain and so insecure about myself. I just wanted to make sure you thought I was handsome.
I've only had one broken nose. How many have you had?
How many broken noses have I had?
Yeah, because from a certain angle, it looks like you might have been a boxer. I've
been punched in the face a couple times.
Yeah, I had one.
Yeah, no, I think probably 3.
Oh, really? Yeah, you've been punched in the face on 3 separate occasions.
Well,
when you
3?
When you box.
Oh my God! Well, no, I did box a little bit, but
I didn't. Oh,
you looked like you had a boxer's nose, but then
Yeah,
again,
I
it wasn't boxing that I got my
No,
broken nose.
it's actually never.
It's over
this
a girl.
was straight up punches to the nose that broke my nose.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, it's been bagged around a little bit. I've had what they call a boxer's fracture twice in my right hand.
Oh.
Neither time from
yeah, that's
punching, but
wow.
Yeah, it's I have weak hands and a weak nose. So what do you want from me?
I've lived such a sheltered life.
Do you have any extra knuckles?
No,
Extra
they always
knuckles.
healed up. They healed. And by the way, this is not
My
from, like,
father had 2
fighting
sets of knuckles
street
from
fights, by the
boxing
way.
and Street Fighter.
2 sets of knuckles.
Yeah,
you
they
get-
swell up and push. They'll push, like it means you didn't let your hand heal. Is what it
Okay.
means.
Yeah.
Like it didn't
Wow.
get set. Yeah.
Okay.
There's- if you
Hey,
look-
there he is. There's His Highness.
Oh yeah.
he's giving Hey, where you go? Oh, if he
Why is
came in
he-
here, I'd
Yeah,
ask
I think it
him
was
about
just a
his-
mirage.
Why is he in
What?
the building this late?
No.
Is he going on the weekly die-on tonight or something?
No, this is when he
Might
gets
be.
most of his questionable peeing. Done.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the way we
right.
never get to see him pee.
Right, right. Well, he's very covert.
But yeah, I Hop brought him up. Hey Pete, Hop brought you up. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't.
I've never considered his urinary habits, not even for a second. It's all
No, and
it's all
neither have
Hopwood.
I until now. Now I'm really
Right.
questioning it.
Well, now I'm curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I am curious now. Like,
I don't think he does.
You really don't think he does?
I
No.
can't even believe someone has an opinion on it.
I know.
Hop, you're scaring me. I'm switching mics again, dude. I'm like so fidgety, and this one won't stay.
Right,
so I'll
right.
Just try and yell.
Well, we'll.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Well,
there
neither
you go.
Matt or I are afraid of our mess.
And I would just want to be
That's
able
true.
to keep an eye on Hopwood now that I know that he's checking everybody's urination tactics
better-
out.
you
He's
better-
following with the camera.
You better
Yikes.
strap a pan to your
Oh.
hiney.
Oh
To
my.
my dongle.
Wow.
My dongle.
No, the
Dongle.
hiney.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, my
Is that Ryan Gorman?
Oh,
Even virtual John Hopwood is curious
I
about.
love it.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
He's an a-hole.
Who is?
John
Virtual-
Is it virtual John Hopwood? Have you brought him?
oh,
yet?
you ought to see the
What a
real one then if you
jackass.
think virtual is an a-hole.
I had to argue with him.
Oh wow, how stunning! What a stunning wit.
Gary Hopper got driven. Gary Hopper got almost to that point, where he was bringing him out towards it.
Yes. Yes.
With I was just looking out the window.
Yes, I noticed that.
Was
yes.
it something like insipid?
Oh, right, because you don't know what the guy said.
You just that it's insipid. It's fine.
It was insipid. Yes.
Childish.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the guy got me to F-bomb. I was trying not to. It was just. Didn't wanna
Yeah.
think
No
about it.
kidding.
Yeah, but he actually his Amoeba Man actually was funny, but I wasn't here for that day.
Yugless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yugless.
Yugless was funny. Yeah.
His name is Yugless?
The Amoeba.
He lives in he's not literally an amoeba, but he lives in the forest. He's like a woodland creature who called the show one day.
Is this a real guy? Because I'm serious.
Yeah, he's like 3. He said he's 3 feet tall.
Oh, he's one of the calls. Yeah, dude.
Jim
So he looks a lot like.
size?
So he's like a lot like Hopwood. He's 3 feet tall. He lives in the forest.
Hey, I'm 4'1".
He's guarding
Challenge.
things underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Challenge. Name all the 7 dwarfs.
Okay.
It's harder than you think.
Hop. No, it'd be Smoky, Drinky, Laffy.
Sleazy.
No,
No,
there's
we're not. There's in the Rich Gerard show. That's
no. Let me
later.
say, there's a Happy,
Happy.
There's a
Grumpy.
happy, yeah.
You're thinking Hoppy. Happy.
Grumpy.
Grumpy. That's me. I have a grumpy.
You know what, dude? I don't know who the
it's-
7th was.
I don't either.
It's a bet that you can do with people if you can remember them, because everybody thinks you could bring it up, but
Yeah,
you
you just
can't
don't-
get through 3.
Yeah, it's just,
Somebody got me that one.
Slappy, Dumpy.
Dumpy?
Yeah, isn't that one of them?
Maybe. I don't know.
Not to be confused with Peter White, who doesn't go to the bathroom.
Right.
Now he doesn't go to the bathroom. This
No.
guy,
Wow.
Hop, you are infatuated with this.
Oh,
let me
it's
ask
that
you something.
7 feet. I'm just going to leap up into his
Oh,
arms.
I can see it in his eyes. He's like, he's a tall drink of water. Hop, do you secretly like my friend Peter? Or you have a man crush on him?
Not man crush, man.
Just a straight up crush.
No, he's my hero. the
John,
master.
he doesn't like you that way. Oh.
I'm very butch myself.
I don't know what to do with that.
Jeez, dude, me neither, except isolate that and make it a new sound clip.
That's right, yeah.
Jesus, buddy.
Yeah, virtual John Hopwood doesn't even know what to do with that. Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, my.
Oh, please.
Do you sing?
Do I sing?
Yeah.
Like a god.
Can you sing like Jermaine Jackson, though?
No, who the hell knows a Jermaine Jackson song?
He does. Matt does.
Oh, he's a radio DJ. He should.
Don't you?
What?
You know one Jermaine Jackson song.
I'm trying to remember what it was, though. He had like one big hit, right? Well, no, that's the Jackson 5.
You know, all you had to do was do the song. Remember, I couldn't remember the lyrics.
Name a Joe Jackson song.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, but you doesn't have to be written by him.
Oh, his dad actually was a singer. I was just gonna make a joke about beat him. Just like, didn't he kick the crap out of his kids?
Oh, I was thinking of Joe Jackson stepping out. I was thinking
no,
of that
I was
Joe
thinking
Jackson.
of Joe Jackson.
I didn't connect it.
Beat the brakes off you until you sing.
I didn't connect it in my brain. Yeah.
He's
I have egg on my face, much like Easy G.
Yeah,
all over there,
and urine on my hands.
Hop, how many autographs you signing? Is anyone topped Easy G?
I signed one yesterday.
Where was that?
At the VA, so I could get my
Oh, all right.
reimbursement.
I was just about to be like, what sick planet do we live on?
Easy G's a big star.
My hands weren't working either, so it was like.
He's like he's gonna be at like Comic-Con and have his own booth.
Hello there.
I love it.
Hello, guys.
Oh, that's it. Hello, guys.
I don't know why.
He's very emotional, but the ladies like that. I bet he gets a lot of, since he cried on the air, I bet he's getting a lot of ladies.
Is he allergic to his wife?
His wife? Well, they're divorced. She has a restraining order against him.
She does?
Yes.
Geez, even I haven't got to that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
yeah,
easy.
because nobody can find where she is.
The worst I have.
Weird.
Don't show up. Don't show up from 3,000 miles away without telling me first.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Has anyone heard from her since, or is Hopwood still?
That's a good question. Holly is her name. And
So he says.
This is all stuff he's talked about on the air.
It's probably Holly Homolka. You know who that is?
Who?
Holly Homolka.
No.
Homolka is a Czech name.
Okay, but listen, Gorman is an Irish name. Doesn't make me have to be from Ireland, but it just makes my ancestors have to be. I've been there from there. Hopefully, I don't know how that works.
Right.
But no, Holly Homolka was the girl. Have you ever heard of the Scarborough rapist? This guy Paul Bernardo his girlfriend was Holly Homolka, and they were like a serial killer couple type.
Where's Scarborough? You mean up in New
York? In Canada, bro. The Canadians. They're Canadians. So that's baloney that they're all nice.
Was that the Toolbox Killer or the Lonely
No, I would have
Hearts
said
Club?
the friggin' Toolbox Killer, John, if it was the Toolbox Killer. I said the Scarborough Rapist. Okay? They're not one and the same.
Oh, okay.
All right. Just bear with me.
I love
Dude, because I'll get sidetracked. I will. And nobody wants that.
He will.
Nobody wants that, including myself.
Scarborough, Ontario.
I don't know what part of Canada. I'm not Canadian. It's irrelevant. Scarborough Rapist. Could be Scarborough, Pennsylvania. I don't know. Anyway, who cares about Holly Homolka at this point? But anyway, she helped kill her sister and like a bunch of other people that he was like weird sexually deviant with. She played the victim on the stand. They gave her 12 years. They eventually, after the 12 years, found a videotape where she was basically the ringleader, and they couldn't do anything about it because it was already they can't have double jeopardy. Anyway, she moved down to like Costa Rica. Then somebody found out she was back up here, and she was working at a school in Canada like a couple years ago.
Sounds like somebody.
So that had nothing to do with anything we were talking about, except for somebody said the name Holly.
So we did?
Yeah. So now you know that. Okay?
I had to get a male
true.
Holly plant because the two females were getting sluggish.
Yeah.
Now they're thriving.
An extra
They
woman and started
have
thriving.
sex.
They what?
They have sex.
Now all right. So let me wrap it up with let me just tell you what I've learned today from Hopwood.
We've learned a lot.
He's infatuated watching a grown man pee. He is
doesn't
infatuated with botanical porn.
Yes.
You, my friend, are a savage.
Mm-hmm.
Not the creepy kind. Not the like, oh, that guy's a savage. It's like,
right.
I'm very tender with my plants.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That almost makes me want to vomit the way you said that, Hopwood.
Little Luther Vandross song, Tender with My Plants.
Charles Manson.
Little Luther Plant Dross.
Ah,
right there.
yes.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
You give me the low hanging fruit, I'll take a swing.
Yes.
Charles Manson was tender towards plants.
Oh my God.
By the way, I saw was that Daryl Dion that I saw out in the hallway?
No, that was Peter White.
No, didn't I see Daryl out there or no?
If he did, he's fled the studio.
It's Thursday.
He is a young man, in the prime of his life.
Who is Daryl?
Isn't he?
He's 70 years old.
Yeti years, he'd be in the prime of his life.
Oh, that's true.
I got a story. I got a true crime story for you. San Luis Obispo. I used to go visit my friend.
You lost me at San Luis Obispo.
San Luis Obispo is where Cal Poly is. The girls were called Cal Poly Dollies. There was a serial killer there. Then there turned out to be 2. It wasn't just 1. It turned out it was 2. Years later,
so you had a pair of murderers.
Right. Years later, they realized that the 2 were actually 3. Because when you have one that's successful, can draw a mimic in. But it's just so wild.
That's called a copycat.
Yeah, copycat. Yeah. And
I'm well versed in serial killers.
Oh, I love crime.
Oh.
When I used to write about for Yahoo, crime would get you so many, views.
Sick,
so many
deviant
hits.
Weirdos.
Oh,
yeah.
Manson was huge subject.
He's an interesting psycho. That's for sure.
And Linda Kasabian is from Milford,
New Hampshire.
Yeah, and my friend, when she was a girl in Mount Vernon, knew a neighbor of hers, and so she knew of her, when she was just a kid, and one of the times she saw her, she had a butcher knife, and she says, "Would you like to see the pig in the smokehouse?" Because she butchered a pig, and it was hanging up in the smokehouse. But the parents had said, "Don't, be cautious of that." But I guess she was friends with her daughter. She was on my TV show, but we were feuding then. So who
was feuding?
We didn't talk to each other for a while because
you and I.
Yeah, somebody get Hopwood on some type of list,
because
please.
of Little Mel.
He's
well, that was before you and I had never even met.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to meet.
We were supposed to meet, and we never did.
Supposed to meet.
Yeah,
dude, how weird! Hey, pull out your phone. Let me see your Google search history. Can you pull it out and just hit Google search? I'll show you mine.
For what?
I don't even, because I wanted to see how sick you are. You're super sick. I bet. I love it. Let me see. I'll do it too. And
I tell you what's on here.
No. You won't tell me what's on there. I want to know what's on there.
I was trained by the Defense Intelligence Agency. I'm not going to.
Yeah, he's not going to give you his phone.
And they failed miserably. Clearly.
No, they didn't.
No, that's right.
Okay.
Oh, God.
New Hampshire Bar Association, veteran, Bible, Manchester. What America's take on the Treaty of Versailles? Army Nurse Corps. Tarot site.
Jeez, yours is boring as mine.
Prefabricated model. The discovery of witchcraft from 1577. It was one of the.
Now we're
grimoires.
getting somewhere. Keep going.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, Society for Basic Research. Baseball, web store for hats.
Witchcraft,
Has baseball analytics killed the art of hitting? New Hampshire pastor doesn't apologize for comparing transgender students to pedophiles. That's when Gerard was, saying that me and Ray Buckley were handing out this thing.
Right.
Yeah, Gerard at large offers 1,000 reward. Yeah, because
Well, let's hear some of Ryan's because we're almost out of time.
They're actually like almost boring
Jenny,
unless I hit the view all.
Oh,
unless
really?
they probably hit the view all. No, it's just the two of us. Gonzalo artist, Twitter, Manchester, New Hampshire, in town, Manchester. What key is Season of the Witch in? And Boston Express. Yeah, the song by Donovan, not your Salem witchcraft type stuff. But if I kept going,
oh man,
well, we got to.
Atlantis is a great song.
We got to. Fred says I like Captain Crunch, serial killer.
Who the hell's that?
Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple. You know Fred. You argue with him all the time.
Little Murders by...
It literally goes down. I can't believe this. Maybe it's because I was honest and I was going to read all of them. Not a questionable thing until about like 20 down.
Wow.
And that's when I was on a mature tube.
Which
is
yes.
like a, you know.
Yes.
1941 cables boasted of Japanese American spies.
Oh,
which, you know.
Yeah. All right, we do have to go because it's Thursday, so we wrap up a little bit early so we can let the guys get in here
I thought
for the
Ryan,
weekly die-on.
you did an extra 2 minutes.
No.
Oh, it's 5:47.
Yeah, we got to go.
So he did do
However, we will wrap up with another Airtight track.
Yeah.
We'll play the one we didn't play yesterday.
Nice.
The radio edit, of course. Wait, which one did I play?
You played Welcome to Luxembourg
Okay,
yesterday.
good. All right, so I've got When the Lights.
Yeah.
The
Great song.
The clean edit, as I have it labeled on here.
So the instrumental.
I did have to do some. Anyway, so we'll finish up with that. Ryan Gorman, thank you so much, my friend. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, Matt.
Tomorrow we have rapper K Daver will be here. So
he's going to be on.
You were here last time. He's here. You should come in.
The name sounds familiar.
You should come in, and you should come in.
I'd be
My new
happy
ale.
to, as long as your audience isn't like, Jesus.
No. It's great to have you here. But
Get
yeah,
this forgetful ADD weirdo.
K Daver's got his
I
new
have
disc.
ADHD.
He's got his
I
new
know, I was
disc.
talking about you.
You were too, right?
K Daver's got his new disc, Better with Age, so he'll be here tomorrow to promote that, and we'll talk about that. So thank you to everybody, and
thanks, Matt.
Thank you to Philip for calling in earlier. That was great. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org.
Well, hello, guys.
Oh, why, you want one more of those? Is
And
that what
Matt.
you were?
hello, guys.
And just real quick.
Yes.
I'd love to come on tomorrow. And then I'd like to talk about my my plan that Gonzo and I were kind of working on, our humanitarian initiative.
Yes. Very nice.
It's all about clean up Manchester from Hopwood.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. All right, we got to go. Here it is. This is When the Lights from Airtight.